Hi, I am Carolyn Gage, the playwright and the lyricist for the show Babe, an Olympian musical. The composer is Andrea Jill Higgins, and I want to just take a minute to talk about musicals in general and this musical in particular. One of the things I've always believed that an ounce of culture is worth a pound of politic. Nowhere is that more true than musical theater. Musical theater has the power to change the world. And I'm just going to give you some examples of that. South Pacific, 1949, introduced interracial relationships, biracial children. 1949, and it was all wrapped up in this beautiful South Pacific Island bundle with patriotism and the Pacific Theater and Women's Army Corps. And then there's Hair. Hair introduced the counterculture of the 1960s to the mainstream. Sex, rock and roll, drugs. But it also introduced a very strong anti-war theme about the anti-war movement that was going on at that time against the Vietnam War. And then there was Kajofol, and that was, I think, in the 1980s. And that had all the glitz and the glamour of this gay male nightclub. But it was also about the all-American broken family, broken from divorce. Only in this musical, the couple was two males. But we saw them struggling with domestic issues, very familiar domestic issues, right in the middle of every trope and stereotype that there is about gay men. Very radical show. And then there was Rent. And Rent kind of recycled the plot of La Boheme, the opera, moved it to the Lower East Side, and instead of consumption, it introduced the subject of the AIDS epidemic. So musicals, they ride into the mainstream on the power of their music and the magic of the book, but they often can carry social justice messages, and they present us, or can present us, with models of a different kind of world. So I want you to imagine how the world would be different if there was a big, brassy, full chorus, full book, blockbuster Broadway musical featuring a big, strong, butch woman who had the ambition to be the greatest athlete in the world and who actually achieved that ambition. And I'm talking about Babe Didrikson, who was considered the greatest woman athlete of the 20th century. This is a musical that can really break the mold for women culturally, the same way that Babe broke it for women in sports. And I want you to imagine for a minute little girls growing up, playing and singing the soundtrack to this musical about a big butch athlete, instead of all these Disney princesses that are on Broadway now. Imagine these girls that grow up with a celebration. It's all about winning, setting your goals and achieving them, winning. And instead of being rescued, how would the world be different then? This musical is deeply feminist. It has been in development for several years. It's been workshopped a number of times in a number of cities. It is pumped, it is ripped, it is ready and raring to go. And this showcase at the National Women's Music Festival is an incredible opportunity for it to put itself on the map. So we're asking for your support. Help us go for the gold with this really world-changing musical. All we need is the right kind of sponsorship. And when I say the right kind of sponsorship, I'm talking about you. So thank you.